I own Lawson's Produce, which is now Lawson's Ag Tech. I am also a high school teacher, and this is just how my classroom setting is. Not exactly. I have owned Lawson's Produce since 2004, and how this got established was I was sitting with my college professor, and we were going into my senior year, and he said, "You're going to be one credit short of graduation." And I said, "Okay, how do we make up this one credit?" And he said, "Well, what do you do in the summer?" And I said, "Well, my family owns and operates a farm, and I sell watermelons off a trailer." He said, "Okay, let's take that concept, place it into a business plan, and I'll give you a college credit for that summer work." I said, "Okay, let's do this." And so with that being said, that summer I developed a business plan for Lawson's Produce, expanded from watermelons to a full line of vegetables, things that were grown in Delaware and also shipped in. I got in contact with wholesalers that I could purchase bananas, limes, lemons, the necessities for traffic headed down Route 5 is where our location is, and just a one-stop shop for a little bit of fruits and vegetables that everybody needs. Name has changed from Lawson's Produce to Lawson's Ag Tech because 2 years ago, with the rainy season in the spring, our garden flooded, okay, and we pretty much lost everything. And in order for a produce stand to prosper, you need to grow your own vegetables, you need to work the produce stand yourself, and you need to basically pay yourself in order for this to be successful. My hat goes off to all the produce stands in the state. They work extremely hard. There is numerous hours, numerous time away from family. It is a grueling entrepreneurship. With that being said, with my family, marriage, kids, all the fun stuff, it's been 2 years and we've not grown any vegetables. So we have kind of expanded to a mulch operation, a topsoil operation, compost, stone, all the items that you would find at a garden center, except for the vegetables. We currently process all of our own mulch. We have a very unique system of our mulch. We take in chips from wood chippers. So the dumps, the transfer stations, they don't accept wood waste. They don't want it. It creates a gas that's not good for the environment. I contacted all of the tree chipping companies in the state, told them that we accept wood chips for free. There's no tipping fees. Any guys, Sussex Tree, there's numerous tree companies out there who utilize us. They bring their chips in on us, we accept them for free, and then we turn around and regrind the chips into a processed mulch. We do 3 different colors, red, black, and brown, and a natural, which it has no additives to it, it's just a natural mulch. And have been very successful with this, with the mulch. It's very seasonal. The season goes from basically May until July. As soon as the weather hits 90, 100 degrees, nobody's interested in working outside. The season is very short. Also, it'll pick up in the fall. We'll run a good sale in the fall for people to touch up, refresh their beds, items like that. I forgot on my website, I have a short video clip that hopefully it'll run. This is years ago, okay? This is back when we were pretty much starting up. Is there volume on here? Oh, okay. Should have told him that. This is how we started. This is our grinder. It's a row chopper, and all it accepts is chips. It will not, the items dumping in there is strictly chips. There's no solid brush or anything going into it. This is back when we were strictly a produce stand. Carried a full line of local produce that was grown in state, and also the items that people ask for out of state. We carry a full line of bagged products, stone,
we carry a full line of landscaping products, including mulch, bulk and bagged, topsoil, potting soil, stone, pine bale needles. We offer pickup and delivery on all of our products. We process all of our mulch on site. We use 100% reusable wood fibers from different tree companies, and we have red, black, brown, natural, and a triple grind. We carry a full line of locally grown produce, from watermelons to asparagus, and as the season goes along, we will continue to keep up with all the local items, and we buy directly from the farmers, or we grow it ourselves. We carry triple scented candles. They're all natural candle. We also carry organic cookies made by Bella Cookies, and we carry all of your homemade jams and jellies and fresh juices. Well, thanks for stopping by. Next time you stop by, please introduce yourself and let us know you saw us on coastal Sussex.
I think we're still in business. I get asked quite a few times, do I miss the produce aspect of it? And I do. A lot of people that we met that would come in that were regulars to get a dozen ears of sweet corn were really nice, really nice people to deal with. But it is, extremely labor intense. Farming is, it's the backbone of Sussex County. I can't say enough about it. But when it comes to a fresh product, your turnover is days. It's extremely, a fast item to move. I'll never forget, I was growing lima beans one day, and there were blossoms all the way down the vines, and went out the next morning and it looked like it had snowed on the ground because all the blossoms were just dropped off because of the high heat, high humidity. And it's just, it's a frustrating industry. You're dealing with commodity products, and they know exactly how much rain you're getting, how much inputs you have in the cost of everything, and you'll never meet a rich farmer, is what I always say. It's a very tough industry to be in. Along with the mulch, we also carry ADM feed products. So we have a full line of feeds for animals, goats, meat and dairy, rabbit, dog, swine. We carry a fish food. This picture here is that's my oldest son, that's my nephew, and my youngest son at the Delaware State Fair. We have a herd of standing goats that are show goats only. They're milk goats that are shown yearly at the state fair. And then, this is a picture of all of our mulches. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Cliff?
Hi, my name's Jim Barrett, and I'm a guy that's owned 5 small businesses along the way. I don't like your company name. I don't mean to say that as a shock, but I like a name that I can remember and that tells me what it is. Ag Tech doesn't tell me anything. I owned Barrett's Bed and Breakfast. I owned several others, but I had, right now I'm doing real estate, so I'm Affordable Delaware Homes. So when somebody looks on the internet, they know what they're getting on that site. They either want to look at it or don't want to look at it. I don't know anybody that has a demand for Ag Tech. if you can come up with a different name that describes what you're really doing,
Yeah.
that would be helpful to you as far as marketing.
And we came up with the ag tech because the items that we're carrying are so broad now. You can't say Lawson's mulch, stone, feeds, compost, topsoil, mulch, So,
I understand it's all
yeah,
but it doesn't tell me.
right. Lawson's produce was, but then see, we've ventured out from the produce, so we kind of want to change our name, but I definitely agree, it's broad, it's a broad spectrum when it says ag tech.
Any other questions or comments? Brenda?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you wholesale?
Yes, retail, wholesale.
Okay.
We carry, a full line to the landscapers. They get, a little bit discount price. On my way here, I had a landscaper call me and needed, 12 yards delivered.
Okay. And you deliver?
Yes,
Okay,
delivery on all
great.
products.
What's the geographical mile radius that you deliver?
We will deliver to anywhere. It's just that the further the radius, the higher the cost.
Okay.
So,
That's true.
we go to Seaford, Laurel, we cover all Route 1. We'll go to Milford. There's really no radius that we won't
Okay.
really deliver to. Ocean View.
Great. And so what's the 5-year goal going forward?
I would like to, there's some items that we are still purchasing from other companies. And for example, topsoil. That's something that I think that we would be able to process ourselves. It's just a matter of looking at the input costs and the equipment cost and see if that's something that we could feasibly do to start processing our own topsoil.
Okay. And lastly, when I think of economic development, I think of sustainability, retention, job creation, and profitability. Talk to me about job creation.
In this field, I currently have 2 full-time employees, and then, like I said, it's very seasonal. It's a very short season. When it's springtime, it is extremely busy, and that's when we usually hire, 2 part-time employees. Now, if we venture out and we start processing our own topsoil, that would probably be another employee to run that. It's not a corporation where we're going to be hiring lots of people, unfortunately. I know what you mean, but it's more hiring good people who can, at the demanding times, work the hours. And then we try and keep the 2 full-times, busy during the winter.
One second, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jamie. I just have 2 questions. Where are you located? And then also you had mentioned something about tree companies being able to dump their mulch. Is that for cost or what's your criteria?
We are located quarter mile south on Route 5 off of 404 Route 9. Harbison, if you're familiar with the area, Harbison. If you go at Allen's, is the poultry plant right across from Allen's. It's actually where I was born and raised in Harbison. It's my parents' family farm is where we're located. And the tree chipping companies, no, we do not charge them a tipping fee. A lot of people that I've talked to said that we should, because if they went anywhere else, there would be a charge. But I also look at it as, do I want those chips, possibly going to our landfills? I don't. It's not what the environment needs. They take care of us by providing us a free material, and we also require that they have everything chipped. The grinder that you saw in the video, it cannot handle like a stick of firewood. It will jam it up. So I tell those guys, look, it's got to be chipped, it's got to be clean wood brought in here, and they take care of us because we take care of them.
Good morning, and thank you for presenting. Just wanted to make a comment on your customer service. Perhaps I may not remember, I truly remember the Lawson's name always. May not remember the new ag tech, but I will always remember the great customer service that I received when I purchased some stone and had it delivered at my home last summer. It was tremendous, and I think any business is based on how you treat your customer.
Yep.
And again, I will always remember that, and I will return because of that.
Well, thank you.
So it says a great deal about your company.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You probably never spoke to me. It probably wasn't I who delivered. That's something that I pride the two full-time employees on, that their customer service is outstanding. It's family operated, it's family owned. We will bend over backwards to, accommodate you, the customer. Being a resort area, we have to. These people come down on weekends, they want their mulch on a Saturday morning, and we've got to deliver. And in that case, so we can have the repeat business the following year. A lot of people only put mulch down once a year. And if we don't, take advantage of that and build a relationship with that customer, then they'll not be returning to us because they can get it somewhere else. Thank you.
Mike?
Good morning. My name's Mike South. Another member of the family told me that you were about 6th generation farmers. Is that correct?
Yes. Our family farm, we till about 1,000 acres in Sussex County, all the way from Route 1 to Laurel. And it's a century farm. And so I am about the 6th generation of farmers. We have farmland in farmland preservation. It will never be developed, and it's a tradition that I really want to continue. It's tough being a school teacher, having this and the farm, but everything seems to work out really well. And now my brother has moved back from D.C. over here, so he and I really want to keep the farming going.
Well, congratulations on that.
Yes, thank you.
A lot of us appreciate what you're doing along those lines as far as preservation. My question revolves around what percent of the revenue stream is actually the mulch hardscape business of yours?
Revenue is, our overhead cost for any of the mulch is primarily equipment and the dye that goes into it. The dye is very expensive. It's got a lot of regulations on it as far as environmental impact go. And it comes out of Midwest. And our revenue, I would say, is probably about 88% mulch. And then we call them the hard goods, covers the other.
Question, Lit Dryden. I'm kind of concerned about cost containment in one area, probably many, but one that I pick out from what I could hear this far back. It sounds like you are going to accommodate the customer by making deliveries pretty much anywhere that makes any kind of common sense. Would it not be to your advantage to have a primary area of delivery and then suggest that additional deliveries can be worked out, will be quoted individually? Now, what you could do with that is you can always say to the people, in your case, we're going to include this as part of the deliveries. Now you've done something kind of special beyond your immediate zone. But in addition to that, if you do have a relatively small delivery and they want to go a long distance, you said you had 2 employees plus family, et cetera, you're real tight for personnel. I would kind of be prepared to be a businessman about it and kind of talk to them about how if the order were just a little larger, if they included a few other items, that it would really make it more practical. Just some thoughts along that area. Without offending anybody, I think you could pay compliments and also control your costs a little better.
Yeah, definitely. I know other, landscapers that offer that kind of, sales, 5 yards free delivery in a certain area. Most of our deliveries range between $20, $30. Outside of that radius, then it usually goes up to $40, $50. Cost of deliveries is, we look at it as we're going to profit on the material. If we can break even on the labor and the fuel and the time of delivery, that's the cost of delivery. We don't gouge people for delivery. So, good point, thank you.
Can you share some of the challenges you've had over the last couple of years, if any?
I can. I don't really want to get into the details of it, but like I said before, there's a lot of regulations on mulch. Anytime you're moving, product on ground. It's not like farming. It's not like going out, disc it, plant it, done with it. You know, we have a lot of people that are looking at our facility to make sure that we're not impacting the environment. Whether, you know, most of our impact would not be above ground, it would be below ground as far as the mulch getting incorporated into the soil, you know, changing the pH of the soil up. And we're very aware of this, and we try to do everything that we can possibly to maintain, you know, a good environment where our mulch sits. But then again, they don't want you going and blacktopping everything. Then you need to put in storm waters, you know, retention ponds, everything like that. So, you know, with that being said, that's our biggest, you know, issue is having the eye on us. So.
And just to follow up, because you were talking about the good environment for the ground and everything, is there a preference when you look at colored mulch? I mean, is there one that's better than the other?
As far as sales goes, it's definitely the dyed brown is by far our biggest seller. Reason being is that you can lay that in May and it's going to sustain the same color all the way through the summer. If you go to a natural product, wood dries down, and, you know, it's going to deteriorate, it's going to change colors. The color enhanced brown maintains its same color.
Does the dye impact the earth at all or the ground?
It does not.
In the area?
Our grinders is pretty unique. These chips, everybody has seen wood chips before. Well, we're taking basically a quarter-size chip and we're cutting it down in half based on the size of the screen that the wood is pushed through. And as it goes through this screen, there is dye and water injected in there, and as it goes through, it creates a heat. And when it heats up, it expands. As it comes out of the conveyor belt, settles, you know, cools down, it absorbs that dye. And as soon as, you know, it absorbs, it's pretty much, you know, environmentally safe. It doesn't leach off. Now, if you're, you know, grinding today and there's a thunderstorm comes through, before you get shut down, probably an hour before, it will wash off. But, you know, we take every precaution we can to prevent that.
Lit?
Yes, sir. One more question, if I may. I'm looking at how you could expand your profitability possibilities without necessarily increasing your costs. And my thought might be that when I think of ordering shrubbery from you, the mulch from you, I also think of how many people would need to have stump grinding, how many people would need to have some insight into colors or types or styles or length of life or shade or not with certain kinds of shrubbery, possibly trees, small or large, taking down trees, all this. If you could suggest in your marketing that you had screened the market itself for the compatible products that would go with the shrubbery, and would there be any advice appreciated in that area that you could then suggest some folks to do this? And since you're screening it and making it available, you could possibly get a small referral fee from those who are doing this work, because you can always quit them very quickly when they get a dissatisfaction. And I think that you'd be kind of protected. You pick up an extra source of income without having to invest in it, either money now or in personnel either. And you might expand the number of people that come in to get your to get your mulch, that may want other services and they depend on you for it. Why wouldn't they depend on you for more?
It's funny that you say that. It's a lot of times that we will drop off 3 yards of mulch, and then the customer is saying, well, what should I do in this area? You know, what can I do over here? And, you know, the guys that I've employed, you know, they don't come from a background of horticulture. You know, they're more mechanical employees, but they've learned quite a bit, you know, over time, just by suggestions and, you know, referrals, like you said.
Kyle?
Clifford, I'd like to commend you on your family and everybody on expanding and, you know, looking for new opportunities in agriculture. It also, it opens up for young farmers coming out that, you know, they just can't go into corn and soybeans and large-scale chicken farming. So this opportunity is for them to think outside the box. It's a good model for them to follow. So good luck. I mean,
Thank you. As you well know, I mean, the agriculture industry, its backbone is poultry in Sussex County. You know, if poultry were to ever leave Sussex County or the state of Delaware, it would be a huge impact. I mean, people just have no idea the employment, the revenue that the poultry industry brings in here. And it could very well happen. I mean, there's not a company in the state that doesn't own property elsewhere. There's no centralized poultry industry in Delaware. There's from North Carolina all the way to overseas. So, you know, it is the backbone. Yes, sir.
I've got a follow-on. I wanted to say, after listening intently to what you've described as your business, I think it's important that you have the Lawson name there for all it stands for, and I would propose something along the lines of Lawson's Mulch and More.
Mulch and More. I like that. Are you for hire? Is that a consulting
Wants to know
fee?
if you're for hire.
What's my consulting fee?
That's fun.
He's on the clock.
That's funny that he comes up with a new name for you, because I'm sitting here thinking, gosh, how could he change that name? And then I'm saying, how could he pretty up this website? Because, you know, with,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm only kidding about that. It could be prettied up, but it's okay. I wanted to thank you also for protecting our environment and our land, living past your area towards the beach as everything's getting blacktopped. It's very sad to see that. My question is, how are you marketing? It sounds like your future plan isn't to grow the business dramatically, and especially if you've got a full-time job teaching.
Right.
But obviously there are competitors out there, and I was just wondering how you're marketing.
our marketing is very in-house, you know, it's very local, primarily newspaper ads. You know, there's not many people that go onto the internet to purchase mulch. You know, once this website's been up and running, I think I've had maybe 5 hits that send me, you know, questions, you know, responses. One thing that we did this past year is a huge postcard mailer, and we think that turned out really well. It's a very timely issue. As soon as the weather breaks, like for example, people were snowed in this winter. They were ready to break the door open springtime. And as soon as that door broke open, we were slammed. I mean, it was unbelievable. And we sent out our postcard early enough so that it was hopefully hanging on their, you know, refrigerator door, so that when springtime came and they were ready to mulch, prices were there, everything was there for contact information, and then they you know, reached out to us. So that was by far our biggest success as far as marketing goes.
Are you keeping track of that? What
We are
responses you get?
you know, our primary sales are delivery, and so every time we write a delivery slip up, that's, you know, kept in our records, and then, you know, as the winter comes along, we'll go through all of our delivery receipts, cross-reference that to our postcards, and then keep an ongoing tally. And maybe send them, you know, a little Christmas thank you, because we do sell Christmas trees in the winter, so maybe send them a little notification that Christmas trees are ready, thank you for your business, things like
That's
that.
perfect. Okay, thank you.
Any
Thank
other
you.
questions or comments?
Welcome and congratulations on your growth. I want to be sure that I have a real clear picture of, I understand the mulch, and I understand that you are not providing the produce that you farm. Are you providing any produce?
No.
Okay. How about the shrubbery that apparently is embedded in our minds around here, because you do show that on your website. Do you do anything like that?
I like to carry items that are not breathing, do not require watering, do not require my maintenance. Things that I do not have to keep an eye on. Now, what we will do is, I mean, probably about once every other week, we'll get an order for sod. You know, I guess they contact us because we wholesale their mulch, and they'll say, can I get 500 square feet of sod? And I will contact a vendor, get them directly, you know, to me, and then, you know, resell the sod. As far as shrubbery goes, we'll do the same. You know, people will contact us for knockout rose bushes, seem to be the biggest hit ever, and we will provide them for a service.
When you sold the produce until you had that rainy season, was it profitable for you?
I tell everybody, look at it this way. If you're selling, I have an employee sitting in there for $8 an hour, which is a low labor cost. I'm selling watermelons for $4 each. So I need to sell 2 an hour, not even including my costs, to pay the labor. The only way to make money in produce is grow it yourself, sell it yourself, and work it yourself.
Part of 1 Million Cups is at least some of us that have to come regularly, we get a chance to see some of the other businesses out there, and we encourage entrepreneurs to come for that reason. And what's going through my head is we have had a presenter that does do produce, and wondered if, because people identified that with your business, if maybe somebody had some space at your market so you're still providing that service, and there might be some synergy between you and the business that was here.
And we, as a family, I don't own a property, it's my parents, and we talked about, possibly renting out the storefront to somebody. But I think that we would be pretty picky. I mean, because, like the lady said, that customer service, produce is 7 days a week, 9 to 6. You cannot pick a watermelon or a cantaloupe, for a better example, on Saturday and not sell it until Monday. It's got to be sold Sunday. So that is an option that we're looking at, is possibly storefront rental.
We have time for one more question. Mike, you had another question?
Well, we're really reworking your business here this morning. I mean, consulting fees alone, I mean to tell you, we're really racking them up.
I'm coming back next week.
Right. I just wanted to comment, coming from Virginia, where the laws allow the burning of trees and shrubs, brush. I like the fact that I see in Delaware, the tub grinders are usually being used to basically grind all the trees that are being taken down for development. And I'm assuming that these huge tractor and trailer loads of chips, tub ground chips, are potentially coming to you or somebody else that does something similar to you. But I was thinking, what if you had some type of agreement with the developers that are basically taking down huge tracts of trees,
Right.
grinding them, and then they would be sending these chips to you. And I understand from what you said, you take the chips for free. I would assume there's still a lot of them that want to get rid of them for free, and then be able to sell the mulch back to the developers as they actually put in tracts of homes. That's just a comment.
There is a huge company, Eastern Shore Forest Products, and they do primarily all the clearing of developments. When you start clearing tracts like you're referring to, you're looking at $1 million piece of equipment in there grinding this wood. And a lot of it, when it's chipped, there's a difference between a grinder and a chipper. When it's chipped, a lot of that goes over to Virginia. There's the biofuel facilities that burn it for fuel. And knock on wood, I've only had to buy a wood product, I think, twice. With that being said, if a storm comes through here and the tree companies are slammed, that means we'll have plenty of wood fiber. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that we need to venture out and take on that kind of material volume. We have plenty of wood fibers now. I think we have enough, probably estimating right now, we probably have enough to get us through 2 to 3 years. So, yep. And I like supporting the small local guys. I can't say enough about Sussex Tree. They're really nice guys to work with.
Cliff, in closing, what can we do as a community to support you and help you grow?
I mean, in this industry, always support your local farmers. I can't say enough about them. It's very seasonal for them. One right down the road from us on Route 5 is Birmingham's. They work extremely hard on their products, in which it shows everything is excellent. Referrals, the best advertising I've ever found is word of mouth. It's free, and it works because you're talking to somebody that you know. And, you know, just support your local ag industry, whether it be, you know, a mulch operation, a farmer that's tied up traffic down Route 9, that's mile back up. You know, just think that they're feeding you, they're feeding the world. So, other than that, that's all the support that we can ask for.